You know, it must be due to the whole Minecraft 10-year anniversary thing that it feels like there's a bit of a wave of nostalgia going on right now. But it's got me thinking just how much things have changed over the last 10 years. Or in my case, more like 9 years because I wasn't playing when it was just grass and cobblestone. I was late to the party. What can I say? But if you go back and you watch like the first Minecraft video that I ever posted, which I think was just me and CNNers kind of walking around messing about on a server, you have like the neon grass. You've not got smooth lighting, so that changes the whole appearance a bunch. But it's just staggering like how big of a difference it is in how things look. And you don't really notice the changes that much over the years because it happens so gradually, so slowly. It's like watching a pot of water boil that as you're watching it, you don't really notice the differences until all of a sudden you're like, yeah, wait, it's bubbling now. And it wasn't doing that before. And it's kind of the same way here where like it seems like we've achieved this look so gradually you don't even notice. But if you rewind things a bit, you're like, yeah, it did used to look like that, didn't it? Everything was bright green neon and you didn't have this ambient occlusion at the edges of blocks. And so I felt, in the spirit of nostalgia, I look for a way you can kind of combine the two, because I don't think anyone would argue that having all of the features that have been put into the game over the last 10 years is a bad thing. It certainly keeps it more engaging. You have much more to do than you did back in alpha. Like you'll find, I think if you go and play alpha, very quickly you'll be like, huh, is that what there was to do? There's not much more. I've kind of hit what you can do before going into mods and doing servers and stuff like that. Like, huh, okay. Yeah, there was a lot less back then. But sometimes you feel like getting that look. So there's this really cool resource pack I stumbled upon. And if we initiate it, combined with changing the smooth lighting, you'll find, I think, it can, within the confines of 1.14, kind of take you back to the old days while also allowing you to have all the new features that keep the game a little bit more interesting to play. So why don't we, real quickly, if we go into our video settings, the first step to make things look as they were, turn back the clock a bit, is to turn off smooth lighting. And all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, that does look like it did a long time ago. But still, you know, you do have all the new blocks and stuff, especially with 1.14. I mean, you still got all the new textures on all the blocks. So massive overhaul when it comes to 1.14 versus 1.13 and below. It would look a little bit closer to the old days once you turned off smooth lighting. But if we go over here, I've set up some blocks. We've still got, like, you know, the emerald, we've got the iron blocks, diamond, gold, redstone blocks looking as they should. Mobs over there, we got like the Ravager and, you know, looking as they normally would. Cobblestones in the new texture. So then the next step, obviously, on top of turning off smooth lighting, is to bring those old textures back. So if we go into our resource pack menu here, classic alternative 1.14, it'll switch us out and things should start looking a little bit closer to the way they did way back when. Dude, these textures, especially like the gold, diamond, and iron, they bring me back to, they make me remember the video that, God, I wish I recorded it. It's just the greatest situation that ever presented itself. Back when I was playing with Mark and Nick like 8.5 years ago on a server, and I decided to put a lava moat around our wooden house that we just built, and it burned the whole damn thing down. And I wasn't recording, but I was dying, and it, oh my God, would have been the greatest video of all time. I don't think it's on Mark's channel anymore. At least he recorded some of it, but it was my mistake. Didn't have my recording software open. I was recording on my iMac back then too. It was when I was playing Minecraft with the Apple mouse that like had no buttons on it other than the one click. Yeah, that was rough. But anyway, what's cool about this is that you have all the old textures for the blocks that did exist back then, but the artist has also gone and made some interpretations when it comes to the newer blocks so that it blends in. So this, for example, block of emerald, this is a block of redstone, which I didn't really expect looking at it in the creative menu to begin with. I was like, what's the red, like, gem looking block? Oh, redstone. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, huh? Dude, it's the cobblestone that really gets you. Like, oh, that is such an abrasive, contrasty texture. It's nice that they've improved it throughout the years. I appreciate that. But then they've also gone and see, like, for some of the mobs that didn't exist back then, what they've done is, or the artist has gone and kind of made his own envisioning of what they would look like. So it's like you got the Vindicator, looks a bit like a sheep. The Witch looks a bit like a pig. For all the mobs that didn't exist, they kind of just get animal textures put on them. Like the Ravager is just a really angry cow, which is fine with me. I think this is pretty fantastic. And then you've also got like the Pillager, which is just another variation of an angry cow. So it's wonderful. It still fits in with everything. And then see, like this is Prismarine over here. You got the different variations of it. And it's like more along the lines of the cobblestone, but you know, it still works. You can still kind of tell what it is. Though this looks like a mossy cobblestone, basically. So Prismarine, and then you got like the redstone lamp, for example. You kind of gotta like look at them in the creative menu to see what they are. Enchantment table as well. If you go into the end, that's gonna look pretty wild, actually. Like this kind of greenish dungeony looking thing. But this is the updates of like the end. And I mean, obviously this existed even before the game was released, but we're trying to take it all the way back to alpha here with this texture pack. So this wasn't added until beta, and so you know, you got the reimagination of how it might have looked if it were in alpha. I think the other kind of striking thing is like when you go caving, check out that gravel texture. Man, that brings me back. The only thing you don't quite get is the super duper neon grass with this, because of the way that biomes work in the new versions of Minecraft. You can't quite recreate that without going back to alpha. So you don't quite get that crazy vibrant neon, but still it does look pretty close to the way it was. That's kind of the only thing that's not quite there. But dude, let's go caving, because that's where it's just like, man, it'll take you back. This looks exactly like it did back then. The lava. See, I didn't even remember just how different lava looked, because it was more gradual changes with that. And then the gravel. Dude, I saw this at first. I'm like, wait a minute. What is... Oh, my God. That's what gravel looked like. That freaking... That pink stuff, huh? Dude, you just don't remember these things. But then again, you get the reimaginations of, oh, that's andesite. Okay. Even though it almost... You would think that's gravel for a moment there. But sure enough, like, as you go down, because you're not finding, like, the neon grass down here, it's like you start lighting this up with torches, and it's like, man, yeah, this is what it felt like going caving way back when, mining stuff up. And then if you really want to take it back, you can always go and set your brightness to moody, to where it's impossible to see anything at all, which that terrified me way back when, like when it became nighttime and you couldn't see a thing because there was like no way to adjust the brightness. And so it was like you're just seeing these terrifying outlines of creepers and stuff. Dude, I remember being so terrified when I first started playing about nighttime, thinking there was no way I was ever going to survive. And then also, you know, going into the nether, and it's like, how am I possibly going to survive this? But yeah, dude, I mean, this brings it back. This is basically exactly as it was. I hear some flowing water. I'm trying to find like some kind of cave or ravine. The entrance area was nice, but let's see if we can find anything. Yeah, man, you needed to use so many more torches back then, because it's like, dude, if you can hardly see, then it's going to be a pain for anybody watching the video, because sometimes it's like, oh, I can get away with it. I can sort of see what's going on. But, you know, when you turn the brightness back to moody, which is kind of how it was back then, yeah, there's just like, no way. No, I see, like, barely see the creeper. It could sneak up on you, like, so much easier. Oh, man. It's wild, dude. Anyway, I think this is pretty cool, because, again, I know you get people complaining when they add new features to the game, like, oh, this ruins the game and stuff when you added this, and it's like, okay, let's think about this in an objective standpoint, right? There was a lot less to do back in alpha. There is so much more to keep you occupied now without having to go to mods and servers and stuff necessarily. So I would say objectively, it's at a better place than it was back then. And so if you're feeling that nostalgia, but you also want to have things to do, like this is a good way to go. So kudos to the artist who made this. And of course, if you feel like grabbing this and trying it out for yourself, the link to the resource pack will be in the description. Yeah, I don't know if it has the same effect for those of you who didn't play a long time ago. And then it's like, well, I don't know, why would I necessarily dial down the graphics in order to make it look not like it does now? You have the option if you want to see what it looked like back in the old days. Freaking gravel, though. God, how did I forget that it used to look like that? It's so different. And then, of course, you know, whenever you want, at a moment's notice, within the same world, you don't have to change your versions. You can just go into your video settings, set it back up to bright, and set the smooth lighting up to maximum, go into your resource packs, deselect it, and all of a sudden, you're back up to the present day. Easy. Look at that. God, that's such a drastic change. Just, I mean, mostly because of just how much changed with the textures in 1.14. If it weren't for that, then it would be slightly less significant. But, like, it just looks so different. Now I can see everything. All of a sudden, I don't have to worry about creepers sneaking up on me. Oh, man, that's wild. Here, we'll do one more, like, before and after up on the surface. All right. Take it all in. Remember how it all looks. Great. Cool. You got it? Yeah. All right. And we can fly up a little bit. Just get another look around. And then we can go ahead and swap it back one more time. And there you go. Back up to the present day. So again, all it is going into your options, changing your smooth lighting, setting it off, putting the brightness down to moody if you really want to go all in, and then selecting that resource pack, bringing it over. And then you'll bring it back to the old retro look of Alpha. So cool stuff. Kudos to the artist. Really cool. Appreciate what you've done here. It's super awesome. So anyway, that'll do it. Again, link to the resource pack in the description. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Make sure to like if you liked. And you can always go and actually play Alpha if you want that true direct comparison. But you'll have a lot less to do. I mean, it's just the way it's going to be. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.